Hi, this is Jyoti here. Welcome to JoPat Tech Guru. This is a C Sharp tutorial series in which I'll be discussing many unique features of C Sharp. In today's session, I'm going to discuss regarding params keyword in C Sharp. If you have not subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe and like the video and click on the bell icon to get the notifications of my new video. Let us start the discussion. So what is params in C Sharp? It is useful when programmers don't have any prior knowledge about the number of parameters to be used. So whenever you are not going to get any idea like how many parameters are required within a program, that time you can use this params keyword. So only one params keyword is allowed and no additional params will be allowed in function declaration after a params keyword. So the length of params will be 0 if no arguments will be passed. If you are passing the number of arguments, it is going to count and it is going to get stored. Otherwise, it will be considered as 0. So parameter arrays allow a variable number of arguments to be passed into a function member. The definition of the parameter has to include the params modifier, but the use of the parameter has no such keyword. So whenever you are going to declare the params keyword, that is, it is going to utilize it for storing the data in a single dimensional array. So a parameter array has to come at the end of the list of parameters and must be a single dimensional array. So when using the function member, any number of parameters including none may appear in the invocation so long as the parameters are each compatible with the type of the parameter array. C# params allows you to design a method which accepts variable number of parameters. So these parameters are going to get stored inside an array and then it will be available to the called method. Here we are having a piece of code which will make you understand how to declare and how to utilize this params keyword. We have a static function called as do work which contains params int square bracket arr. It is a dynamic array which can hold number of arguments. So usually we need to check it if the array is having some data or not. For that purpose, if arr is not equal to null, using the for each loop, we are extracting all the elements which are there within the arr array. So using console.writeLine, we are printing the elements. So there are two ways to send parameters using params keyword. The first one is you can fill all parameters in an array and pass the array as a parameter in a method. Or second one is you can provide parameters using comma separated list when calling a method. Either you can fill all parameters or you can use the comma separated list. So we can send arguments of the specified type as comma separated list or an array to the declared parameter. In case if we are not sending any arguments, then the length of the params will be 0. It is used as a parameter which can take the variable number of arguments. So we are sending only integer types of arguments to the method parameters. Then if you want to send a list of multiple types of arguments, then we need to use object type parameter in the method declaration. So if you are having integer set, then using a single dimensional array, you can declare int square bracket and you can give the array name. If you are having multiple arguments, then you need to use the object. So using the object array, you can send the multiple type of arguments. So let us see all these things with an example to honor the time, I have already written the programs and I'm going to explain all the programs in detail. Here we have got around 3 programs. The first one is so we have got a namespace, my namespace. Within the class, I have got one function called as display, which is a public function. So I need to create the object of my class to access this. So display contains params int square bracket val. So using the for loop, we are using int I equal to 0, I is less than variable val dot length. So how many elements you are going to store it, accordingly the length will be taken. This is going to get decided once you are going to send the argument I++. So using console.writeLine, I'm printing all the elements. So within the main, as this is a public function, we need to create the object, and using this object we are calling this display function. And you can observe that we are sending numbers here because this is an integer array. So integer dynamic array which is not having any fixed size. Dynamic array which is going to hold the data as per the values or the elements which you are going to send it from the main program. So here we are sending few numbers. These all numbers will be sent here and the length is going to get checked. So here we are having around 7 numbers and accordingly I'm going to print them. So let me just execute and show you the output. So you can observe that I'm getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All the numbers are getting displayed. This is the first program in which you have seen how to declare the params keyword, how to send or how to send the data from main function to the calling function. In the second program, okay, you can observe that we have got a namespace program in which we have got the first class called as param array, which contains a public function add elements. So params int square bracket arr. We are going to sum up all the elements which are there within the array. So using the for each loop, I'm extracting all the elements and I'm using sum plus equal to I, sum equal to sum plus I, and then I'm returning the sum. You can observe that the return type is integer. So sum is also integer. The entire total will be sent to this sum. So within the main, we need to create the object of our class param array. So within P1, we are having add elements function. So P1 is the object which represents param array. Then using that, we are calling add elements. You're going to send again few numbers here because params keyword contain again an integer array. So what is the total? I'm going to print it. As the function is going to return the value, we are expecting the sum, an integer value. So the total is 150. So how many elements you are going to send it, how many numbers you are going to send it, accordingly the calculation will be done or the elements are getting added and you will be getting the sum. This is the second example. So in the third example, we are discussing the object type. So object type is the one in which it can hold the multiple set of arguments. Okay, so here we have got a class program in which we have got main and again public static void function which contains params, object square bracket and ARR. So here as we are going to send the different kind of data types, so to hold that we require object array. So using the for loop, again we are checking the length and using the console.write, we are printing array of I and I is less than ARR length minus 1 question mark and colon. This is a conditional operator. If you want more detail about the conditional operator, please do refer to my C# tips and tricks part 1 in which I have discussed regarding conditional operator with an detailed example. So here it is either going to give you a comma or a colon separations. Okay, so within this params method, I'm going to send different kind of datas. So first set I'm sending 2 integers, then 3 strings and then 1 decimal value. So accordingly this object array will hold and it will calculate the length, and as per this conditional operator it is going to get displayed, checked. So you can observe that we are getting all the datas, multiple datas which we are sending it from the main 1, 2, Sanket, Sakshi, Saurabh and 12.34. So this is the way how exactly the object type will work. So hope this entire video has given you a clear idea regarding the params keyword. Again, I'll meet you in next video with some more very unique features of C#.NET. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.